The Adani Group faces scrutiny in the US with potential legal and financial consequences. The bribery case raises major questions about the interplay of law and business between India and the US. Here's a detailed breakdown of the key aspects of the ongoing situation based on a conversation between WION's reporter Susan Tehrani and a lawyer. Now, India and the United States share a mutual legal assistance treaty allowing cooperation in legal proceedings across the borders. Indian agencies like SEBI and CBI could also initiate parallel investigations. Courts in either country can summon individuals or entities involved, creating potential challenges for the Adani Group. Well, apart from this, coming to the difference between the DOJ indictment and the SEC action. Now, the Department of Justice, that's DOJ, seeks criminal penalties, including imprisonment and also severe penalties. Meanwhile, coming to the SEC, that's the Securities and Exchange Commission, it primarily focuses on financial remedies and compliance reforms and also ensuring investor protection. Well, both the agencies bring distinct approaches to the table. Well, moving on to the next question, what's next in this case? Well, in the US, defendants might face asset seizures or freezing of funds. Well, back in India, companies linked to Adani, they could face closer scrutiny. And they could come under increased scrutiny from the financial regulators in India. Well, moving on, how do cases reach this stage of indictment? Well, an indictment is a result of a thorough grand jury investigation, and it involves gathering evidence through witness testimonies, analysis of electronic communications, and also financial audits. The involvement of electronic evidence, detailed tracking of bribes and communication, which is key in this very case. Now, will Gautam Adani be deposed? Enforcing a deposition, such summons poses challenges and it could be complex moving forward. Now, the MLAT could facilitate legal proceedings, but international challenges remain. US officials may even request an Interpol arrest warrant on non-compliance for Gautam Adani. Now, what is the procedure moving forward? Legal proceedings follow a structured process. Tell you more about this, starting with investigation to gather evidence through various means. Then a grand jury reviews the evidence for probable cause to indict the defendants involved. If the grand jury finds sufficient evidence, it issues an indictment. So an indictment is issued after the grand jury proceedings, formally charging the individuals with specific crimes. The accused are brought before a court to hear the charges and then enter a plea, after which there is the trial. Now, the trial includes motions and discovery, and the trial itself, where evidence is presented and guilt or innocence is also assessed or determined. Now, can it lead to the blacklisting of Adani's firms? Now, the implications for Adani's firms are paramount. They risk exclusion from US financial markets, delisting from stock exchanges, and even contractual disqualifications. And such outcomes could have far-reaching consequences for the group's global operations. Now, what happens to the investors? For US-based investors, the SEC might seek financial compensation for affected US-based investors, like I mentioned, in a bid to offset the potential losses. This would aim to protect stakeholders while holding the entities accountable for any kind of misconduct.